Good morning, and welcome to Wayne State University. I am so happy to welcome you this morning. I am Kimberly Andrews Espy, and I have the honor and pleasure of serving as the president of Wayne State. I am so pleased to host you on our campus in the heart of Detroit, home to innovators, makers, and doers, with our university colleagues to celebrate an exciting new initiative with the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, aimed at making Michigan a top state for semiconductor talent solutions and growth. These types of collaborations require strong private-public partnerships and thoughtful strategic investments like those that have been made by Governor Whitmer, and Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist and the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. So before we begin, I'd like to extend my personal thanks to the President and CEO of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, Quentin Messer Jr., and I'd like to also welcome MEDC's Higher Education Partnership Director, Avadzah Atan, who will join us here today. I'm also pleased to introduce university colleagues, Washtenaw Community College President, Dr. Rose Balanca, University of Michigan Vice Provost of Engaged Learning and Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering and Computer Science, now that's a long one, Valerie Bertacco, and Oakland University's College of Engineering Dean Luay Chamra. Together, we are pleased to announce the largest investment in the state's history to expand semiconductor education and training programs. With the generous funding from the MEDC, we will soon launch state-of-the-art training programs that respond to Michigan's increased demand for engineering and other highly technical skilled professionals in the semiconductor industry. It is so fitting that this announcement occurs at Wayne State University. For 155 years, we have fostered deep partnerships with industry, focused on innovative solutions aimed at meeting industry's most pressing needs in Detroit and beyond. As a top-tier R1 research university and member of the University Research Corridor, our faculty are truly at the cutting edge of discovery and innovation. What distinguishes Wayne is our student body is the most diverse in Michigan, and the majority of our students, more than 75%, remain and work in Michigan after graduation. In fact, our alums can be found in C-suite roles in numerous industries ranging from EV and mobility to artificial intelligence, and of course, the subject of today's announcement, the semiconductor field. We have a tremendous opportunity here in Michigan. The global semiconductor market is expected to grow to $1.38 trillion in 2029. In order to meet that projection, a robust talent pipeline of manufacturers, engineers, and fabricators is necessary to advance an intact supply chain, solve our technological challenges, and fuel our United States efforts towards self-reliance in this industry. Michigan's semiconductor workforce ranks among the top 10 in the nation, and job growth is projected to be at least 11% in the next 5 years. Now is truly the time for us to come together to advance Michigan's position in this race for fostering a diverse talent pipeline in this critical industry. It is for these reasons that Wayne State's College of Engineering has amassed a team of leading researchers and educators who are working closely with industry to drive innovation in the semiconductor domain. In a moment, you will hear from our College of Engineering Dean, Ali Abamali, our Professor and Chair of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Mohammed Ismail, and then our Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Amar Basu. They will talk about their efforts and how MEDC has generously supported the work of our students and the faculty in this part of this initiative. They'll also provide a tour of the labs where our faculty and industry come together to train students and innovate. Our faculty have been honored to receive MEDC support for 3 programs. First, Semiconductor Stars, an experiential learning program for future semiconductor engineers. Another, Career Craft, industry-aligned certificate programs in electrical engineering. And a third, PCB Craft, a hands-on workforce training program in printed circuit board design, manufacturing, and testing. These initiatives would not be possible without our industry partners, including some of the top: Intel, NXP, Apple, Semiconductor Research Corp., automotive OEMs like General Motors, Ford, Mercedes-Benz, and suppliers like Visteon and Magna, and of course, DTE Energy. These programs are also consider the needs of several Michigan small businesses in the electronics manufacturing sector, including IPS Assembly, K&F Electronics, BMG Electronic Services. So now it is my pleasure to welcome the CEO of the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, Quentin Messer Jr., to the podium. Please.
Thank you so much, Madam President. First of all, welcome again to Michigan. She's a history maker. Can you give it up for her again? My goodness, a history maker here. I will be very brief. I am grateful for the partnership that Governor Whitmer, Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, bipartisan members of the legislature have allowed the Michigan Economic Development Corporation to do with our higher educational leadership, both at the 2- and 4-year level. What you see is really the best in Michigan, teamwork. You see, regardless of what particular colors or logo or mascots, you see Michiganders coming together to do what we do best, solve problems. And that's what we're doing today. We are focused on ensuring that the next generation has opportunities in this important and viable sector. A big part of who we plan to be in economic development, our economic development framework is Make It in Michigan. And we plan to make it in Michigan in semiconductors. But in addition to semiconductors, continued work in mobility, clean tech, life sciences, defense, and aerospace. But regardless of the sector, and one reason why I'm so excited about what we're seeing here in the semiconductor is that many of us, the phones that we're holding, the laptops, the cars we drive, they're all powered by a chip. And we all learned through the tragedy of COVID how important and how disabling that if we didn't have those chips, none of the things that we make could happen. So this is a tremendous day. I feel smarter already, being around so many smart people. And as someone who had one very rough semester in engineering, I am very grateful that others are taking the leadership role. So I am grateful on behalf of the governor, the lieutenant governor, all my colleagues at MEDC, and folks across both great peninsulas. This is a tremendous day, and seeing the partnership is tremendous. And so with that, I want to turn it over to our friends at the faculty of Wayne State and other really smart people to tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I'm Ali Abou-Mali. I have the honor of serving as the Dean of the College of Engineering. On this beautiful morning in Detroit, I welcome you to one of the most comprehensive colleges of engineering in the country. As CEO Messer indicated, we have received 3 grants for $900,000, and College of Engineering has provided $228,000 matching funds in order to embark on research on teaching and training of Michigan workforce in semiconductor space. I am most thankful to Michigan Economic Development Corporation and Governor Whitmer's administration for their vision, mission, and support of this initiative. This is just amazing. As a part of our effort, we will be developing industry-aligned certificate programs to directly address the evolving needs of mobility industry. And these certificate programs will stack up to close the gap between traditional curriculum and advances in semiconductor technology. With automotive industry transitioning to electrification, to autonomous driving, and connectivity, these certificates would be essential to develop the workforce of Michigan in semiconductor space. On another front, we will be developing Michigan's first hands-on training program in printed circuit boards, known as PCB. The certificates are called PCB crafts. And these will basically enable engineers, electrical engineers, computer engineers, and technicians to design, manufacture, and test the PBCs or PCBs. We believe that it is axiomatic to return PCB and chip manufacturing to US, particularly to Michigan and Southeast Michigan. We look forward assiduously to complete this project successfully and have an impact on the workforce for Michigan and Southeast Michigan. We again sincerely thank Michigan Economic Development Board and the Governor Whitmer's administration for their support, encouragement, and vision. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. This is so exciting. My name is Mohammed Ismail. I'm the ECE chair at Wayne State University. And first, I would like to express our appreciation to the state of Michigan for their support and very much welcome the opportunity to contribute to semiconductor workforce development and job creation in the state. Needless to say, this is part of our mission as a state university. We will put our faculty's expertise, laboratories, and resources to use in training participants and visiting students on modern aspects of the semiconductor ecosystem. Our Career Craft Certificate Program will start this coming spring and summer. We will train visiting students on how to use advanced software tools to design very complex chips having millions and millions of transistors. We will also train them on how to test and validate the performance of these complex chips, targeting automotive, biomedical, wireless communications, and many others. Our PCB Craft program will provide hands-on training on printed circuit board design and test as well. Our trainees will come from Michigan institutions, community colleges, and also from partner industry as well. So industry might be interested in upscaling their engineers in the semiconductor space. Finally, I'm happy to announce that we will organize a one-day workshop very soon to kick off the programs and discuss the logistics. We invite colleagues from Michigan institutions to join us, and also our partners from industry as well. We need to hear from them about our semiconductor workforce needs. Thank you so much. And now I would like to introduce my colleague, Professor Ammar Basu. So let's hear from Ammar. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ismail. And we again want to thank the MEDC for awarding these three important proposals. The two proposals that were mentioned before were Career Craft and PCB Craft. And it is my pleasure to announce the third of the three grants that will be used not just to train the semiconductor engineers of the next 5 years, but in the decades to come. And that proposal, that grant, is called Semiconductor Stars. It's led by Professor Gose Tutanchwaglu. Semiconductor Stars is going to be an experiential learning program for future semiconductor engineers. We will provide unique opportunities to middle school and high school students throughout the Metro Detroit area to dive into this world of cutting-edge semiconductor technology and also explore the fields of microfabrication and 3D printing here on the Wayne State campus. At the same time, we plan to reach out to the Metro Detroit secondary schools to do in-class demonstrations and semiconductor devices on their applications, and use this as a mechanism to recruit students to our universities and some of the programs that are being done locally. And consistent with Wayne State's mission of equity and inclusion, our outreach activities will have a special focus on diversity and inclusion, and specifically our Semiconductor Stars programs will implement a set of strategies to support underrepresented community students. Number one, we will offer financial assistance for participating students to alleviate any financial barriers. Number 2, we will conduct outreach to schools and community organizations with limited resources. And number 3, we will establish partnerships with nonprofit organizations to provide resources and mentoring. Our goal is to really excite and motivate this next generation of semiconductor engineers to the state of Michigan, and we really appreciate the MEDC support in our efforts here. Now let's hear remarks from Washtenaw Community College President, Dr. Rose Belanca.
Well, good morning. Thank you. It's great to be here this morning, not only to celebrate this great venture, but because I am a Wayne State University alum 4 times. So, yes. So we are so proud to launch this new semiconductor technician program to develop the talent and infrastructure to advance Michigan's position as a mobility leader. And thank you. We are excited to use this MEDC education investment to expand our outreach. Are you ready? We're about the future, to the middle school and high school students, so that they can learn through hands-on activities the exploration to introduce them to emerging career possibilities. Our new short-term semiconductor program, technician training program, will launch over the next year in partnership with the Michigan Semiconductor Talent and Automotive Research Initiative, STAR, as we've heard, was established by the KLA Corporation and IMEC, the Belgium-based global R&D hub, uniting key players in the semiconductor industry. WCC will equip job seekers with the skills needed to work in the semiconductor industry. You know, it is really essential to get into the middle schools and high schools to explain what this is all about, because so many are not aware of this cutting-edge technology that is so critical. And without the talent pipeline, without the pipeline of people coming here, it would be very, very difficult for us as a team to actually innovate and execute what our goal was. In our situation, we're going to work with Ypsilanti schools and others to help students explore careers and help them prosper, not only for today and a lifetime. And we have something called the new Advanced Ypsi Initiative, working with about 100 Ypsilanti community school students. Not only, though, high school students, but we're also going to be working with adults who perhaps are going to be in the Reconnect program, to duly enroll, and to adults to also become exposed to these mobility careers. We'll extend our outreach to neighboring school districts. We'll go as far as we can. And we are looking at Lincoln Consolidated Schools, also in Ypsilanti, with the non-traditional approach. So what we're going to do is get their hands dirty. Well, you don't get your hands dirty in this, do you? But we're going to get them engaged and immersed in activities. We're going to provide them with toolkits that will help them build a semiconductor chip and bring it to life and actually understand in middle school, in high school, how it's used in our world. And then during factory tours, thank you to our business partners, they'll be able to meet people. They'll be able to ask questions and partner with jobs and discover their own career paths and imagine themselves in these professions. And we know that approach works because we've done it before with STEAM Saturdays and summer camps. But these careers are so new that without this awareness, we won't have that pipeline that all of us so desperately need. So together with our partners, we're helping to fuel our local, our regional, and state talent pipeline, and we're building individual and regional economic prosperity. And we are so proud to be part of this very, very important work. So thank you so much for your invitation to speak today. And now I'd like you to hear from a very good friend of our college and yours, who works right down the street from our campus, University of Michigan Vice Provost of Engaged Learning and Professor of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, Valeria Bertocco.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Belanca. Sorry for the long title. With its MEDC grant, the University of Michigan will expand hands-on trainings in microelectronics and semiconductor manufacturing to reach up to at least 600 new participants a year. We're thrilled of this opportunity to leverage U of M world-class facilities to give the students from our state of Michigan unparalleled training. They will have access to exactly the same tools and techniques that are used in modern commercial semiconductor prototyping and manufacturing. Our plan is to design a series of short courses that are open to the public and advertised to high schools in the region, community college students, and working technicians from semiconductor adjacent backgrounds, with the goal of increasing the interest and understanding of semiconductor technology for current and future upcoming workforces. The courses we are planned are about 1.5 to 2 days long, initially focusing on 3 topics. Introduction to nanofabrication, which will bring our students to our nanofabrication facility and will familiarize them with key techniques used to pattern, etch, and layer materials in microelectronics. In silicon hardware design and programming, participants will learn the basic of hardware architecture stacks and how to program them to perform tasks. And finally, in Introduction to Semiconductor Metrology, students will have an overview of the importance, the method, and the tools to measure transistor characteristics and defect analysis at the nanometer scale. The trainings will utilize U of M nationally renowned Lurie nanofabrication facility, the highly specialized Center for Material Characterization, and our programmable hardware platform that are supported by the Embedded System Lab. Each training will enroll up to 25 participants, and we plan to schedule 2 trainings a month, and that's how I got to 600 new participants a year. The only background required for this participant will be high school level knowledge of math, chemistry, and physics. And indeed, our nanofabrication facility requires no background at all. We teach them everything. Semiconductor devices form the background of today's society. We envision these courses igniting curiosity and opening doors for Southeast Michigan young people and mid-career workers alike. U of M will work closely with Washtenaw Community College to ensure that our trainings fit the interest of their student population. Participants will be recruited from high school and community colleges in the region, including Washtenaw Community College, Wayne County Community College District, Macomb Community College, Henry Ford, and Schoolcraft College. Now, before I close, I wanted to highlight a University of Michigan student who's with us today. Ivris Raymond is a PhD student in computer engineering who in many ways epitomizes my hopes for the future for our fields, our state, and our society. She's driven to find ways to continue advancing computing systems as we move past the limits of Moore's law and to apply those technologies to create a more equitable society. She's a first-generation Pell Grant recipient, college grad, who recently received one of the most prestigious fellowships that the National Science Foundation gives to early career researchers. Ivris came to Michigan from the University of Arkansas to study, and Michigan is where she plans to begin her semiconductor career. So she will stay here. Ivris, could you please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, let's hear from Oakland University College of Engineering Dean, Louis Shamra. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Valeria, and what a great day to be with you all here today. Oakland University, with its generous MEDC grant, is at the forefront of an exciting era in semiconductor technologies and devices. As our world becomes more interconnected and reliant on advanced technologies, the demand for expertise in semiconductor fields has exponentially grown. Our goal at Oakland University is clear and paramount. We aim to offer reskilling and upskilling opportunities for the automotive engineers and other professionals in the Metro Detroit area and beyond. This endeavor, nested within Oakland University continued education and professional program, finds its foundation in the capable hand of the School of Engineering and Computer Science. What can our trainees expect from this program? Well, we hope that they get a diverse and comprehensive learning experience with tangible takeaways such as certificate of achievement, credit certification, and a deeper understanding of semiconductor technologies. Taking inspiration from the model set by industry giants like Tesla and others, and recognizing the pressing need for a secure supply chains for semiconductor chips, major automotive companies and Tier 1 suppliers have embarked on their own semiconductor journeys. This industry shift has underscored the pressing requirement, not only the hiring of advanced semiconductor experts, but also the reskilling and upskilling of current engineers in this domain. Leveraging our solid foundation in semiconductor studies through the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department, Oakland University has proudly emerged as one of the 4 steering members of the Midwest Semiconductor Network in Michigan. MEDC Semiconductor Talent Action Team program couldn't have come at a better time. With this invaluable grant, we're poised to kickstart our training by offering 3 specialized courses to 20 engineers from General Motors, Global Safety System Division. Our close collaboration with GM, we have meticulously crafted the courses slated to start in winter 2024. Furthermore, our efforts have garnered the enthusiastic support of the Oakland County Executive Office and County Executive Dave Coulter. This collaborative spirit emphasizes not just the short-term benefit, but the long-term vision of creating a steady pipeline for the reskilling and upskilling of engineers. Through this concerted effort, we anticipate serving up to 2,000 engineers from the Metro Detroit region. In closing, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for this opportunity to share Oakland University Pioneering Initiative. Our dedication is unwavering in fostering world-class semiconductor workforce right here in Southeast Michigan. And now, to delve deeper into this vision, I'm honored to introduce MEDC Higher Education Partnership Director, Avaza Atari.
Thank you, Dean Shamra, and congratulations to all of our higher education partners on their successful MEDC grant awards. The MEDC announcement today is just one example of the many ways we are working to ensure that the Michigan workforce has the skills necessary to transition to technologies and industries of tomorrow. The Great Lakes State has launched the largest ever campaign in history to promote careers, recruit talent, and attract new businesses to fill jobs in Michigan's thriving semiconductor industry. Make no mistake, we want to achieve superiority in the global semiconductor industry. Michigan is the home to the #1 emerging startup ecosystem, the epicenter for mobility innovation, and the fastest growing clean energy sector in the country. Together with our state government and community partners, we are creating pathways to jobs that represent the future of American manufacturing, and the MEDC Talent Solutions Division is proud to be a part of this future. The MEDC Semiconductors Talent Action Team is moving aggressively to provide talent and research solutions to ensure employers can meet projected job growth of up to 30,000 semiconductor jobs by 2030, positioning the Great Lakes State as employers' go-to solution for talent and research partnership. That's one of the reasons that Governor Whitmer and the MEDC recently kicked off You Can in Michigan. You Can in Michigan is a new talent attraction campaign launching nationally to fill open jobs, grow Michigan's population, and drive the state's economic future forward. Comprehensively, it's the largest state talent attraction campaign and effort in the U.S. Through this groundbreaking national campaign, Team Michigan is sending a message to all job seekers and entrepreneurs from every background, from all over the world, that when it comes to Michigan, when it comes to having a high-tech career and an unmatched quality of life, you can in Michigan. This campaign demonstrates our commitment to creating economic prosperity across both of our beautiful peninsulas by showcasing what it means to live and work in several communities across Michigan. Together, we're inviting the world to join us in continuing the momentum that is writing Michigan's next best chapter in innovation that will ensure the future continues to be made in Michigan. Thank you. And now I'll give my closing remarks to Dean Ebelmali.
Thank you again. On behalf of my colleagues, I would like to thank you again for joining us today to celebrate this monumental announcement. Our charges is clear. Our vision is for Michigan to become home to the leading educational institutions in America in semiconductor learning. Our focus is to provide accessible and industry-relevant training to equip students and workers with the knowledge and skills necessary to excel in these high-demand, high-paying sectors. And most importantly, our mission is to build a world-class Michigan talent pipeline to meet the semiconductor industry's needs. Opportunities like this, one, stand to benefit all of us because they help to keep one of Michigan's most precious resources, our talent, right here in Michigan. Thank you again for joining us today.